everybody. How are you guys doing on today? Guys, let me just tell you, I am super duper excited about this next book that we're going to talk about today. We have one of my faves. Oh my goodness, author Sheryl Lister is hanging out with us. And guys, y'all know I love the supper club shenanigans. I love the small town. I love the swoon, all the things that bring up this next book, guys. It is a promise of forever. Sheryl Lister is hanging out with us today to talk about her new release, guys. This is a part of a series. This is book 3 in this series. And let me just tell you, if you have not read it, you are in for a treat. But before we do that, you guys already know what to do. Like, tag, and share. Tell a friend to come on down to the cafe because we're hanging out with author Sheryl Lister on today. And y'all, if you have not noticed, I have not stopped smiling. I am smiling from ear to ear because I'm fangirling. I get to hang out with her today and talk about one of my favorite series, guys. Here it is, hot off the press. But Sheryl, before we go into all that, my friend, introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Angela. Thank you again. I always love hanging out and chatting with you, my sister. So I am Sheryl Lister, and let's see, this book is book 42, coming
I
out here.
love it.
Yeah, book 42. And this month also marks 11 years as a published author. I write sweet, sensual, contemporary romance. I write romantic suspense, women's fiction, and one of these days we're going to branch out to something else too.
I love it with Sheryl. Oh my goodness, my friend. You know you are always welcome at the cafe. Thank you so much for joining us and coming back. Guys, we are going back to Flyleaf. Oh my goodness. And Sheryl, I know that this is a little bittersweet because this is book 3, the final book in this series,
Yeah.
as well. Tell us a little bit about that and what that's like for you as an author, because this is one of those book babies that, I've been there since the beginning, since book 1, and
Yeah.
now it's book 3. For me, I even know the nostalgia of how I felt when I was reading this book and going back to some of the things that happened. Gosh, she does give you full circle. She does give you full circle in this book too. But again, Sheryl, what was this like for you birthing the final chapter of the Flyleaf series, of the series? Mhm.
Well, I guess it was a little bit hard because I love these. I grew to love these characters. I think with all the books I write, you love your characters, and then knowing also because of certain things publishing wise that this literally would be the end. That I probably will not be able to go back and revisit these folks. It was bittersweet. It was bittersweet because you grow to love these characters, and so I'm hoping that I ended the series in a way that readers will appreciate and know that we crossed all the T's, dotted all the I's, and that it's all going to be good in Firefly Lake from now on with this supper club group.
And Sheryl, let me just tell you, okay, as one of your super fans, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You owe me nothing. I mean, I at the end, and I'm trying not to tell the people too much, y'all. I'll
I
just say
know it's
what
like
you
I
want
can't
this
say a
book.
whole lot because I
I'll
can't. I
say
don't
because
want
I
to give
know
it
the book is
away.
new. And Sheryl, I can spill the beans now, that the book is out. But I had the opportunity and the honor to read an art copy. So of course I read it like before, before it like hit. And so I was like, man, I need somebody to talk to. Who else has read an early copy? So again, I just want to tell you, I really feel like you owe us nothing. You owe us nothing. Guys, I'll give you this little bit. There will be individuals that show up that started out in book 1. She will tie up loose ends, all that good stuff. But that, guys, let me just tell you, the supper club shenanigans are there. The small town is there. The good food, the music. Oh, and Sheryl, we gotta share with the people. I love the friendship with the guys. And y'all know, like in book 2, it
Listen,
started like
yes,
blossoming.
yes.
Cheryl, listen, it's so much I want to talk about. But before we get into all that, Cheryl, let me backtrack. Because
Miss
look,
JB, we
can
can't
you see
spill
how
all
full
the tea,
I am?
baby, because everybody ain't read the book yet. Miss JB's over here talking about go ahead and spill all. So I can't tell all the good details because everybody
Can
hadn't
you
read the
tell?
book
Can
yet.
you
But
tell
go
I'm
ahead.
bubbling over? It's like I'm bubbling over with so much goodness
I
as well.
know. I
But
was
guys,
so
if you're just
excited
hanging
about
out with
that.
Cheryl Lister, not only are we hanging out with her, Yes, we're celebrating, guys. We're celebrating. Put in the comment section as well if you've read it already, if you're getting ready to read it, if it's on your TBR list. We will be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy of it. But Cheryl, I wanted to talk about this because this cover, love the purple. Y'all see me and Cheryl, but this cover
Yeah,
is a
we.
little different than the other two. Tell
Yeah,
us a little bit about
yeah.
your cover for this one, Promise of Forever, and the purple.
Well, because I guess I can't remember if I've mentioned it in the other two books. It's been a minute, but when Terry and John bought their house, that was sort of like her view. She loved to sit on her back deck and watch the distant water and mountains. That was her place of solitude, her place of peace for
Yeah,
her. So when they asked me about cover, that's kind of what I asked them about doing, is just having a spot where she's sitting, to look out over the water and everything, and kind of like that. And so they gave me three different options. And when I saw that purple, I'm like, yeah, purple. That's
that's
it.
it.
That's it.
That's
That's
it. That's the
it.
one.
That is the one.
I
And it
love
was
it.
just literally a scene that you could actually pull from it, because the little blanket and everything. Because remember, I guess if you read book two, when Natasha was having her little moment, when she was real upset, they went into town and they had hand crocheted some blankets. So that actually is from this book two, the blanket that she keeps out there. So she, when it gets a little chilly or whatever, but that's her spot. And, like I said, they gave me different colors, different scenes from the back, but that purple,
Yeah.
sunset, and the purple. Okay, just the purple.
Wow.
That just grabbed
Cheryl,
me.
look at you spilling a little bit of tea about the cover and the Easter eggs that are in that cover as well. I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
Cheryl, you have to talk about this title. And guys, once you read it, let me just tell you, man, A Promise of Forever. What was that like when you got what the final title was going to be for book three as
It was
well?
my title. I picked it, and they kept it.
It's you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey.
Actually, the only title that they actually chose was A Table for Two. The other one, A Perfect Pairing, and
Okay.
this one were my choices, and they went with it. So I was really glad, because this
I
title
love it.
really embodies what this is, because it's a marriage in trouble. And if you think about it, when we get married, we are making a promise of forever. So it's just kind of that it speaks for itself, and then you get to see what it really means when you read the book.
Woo. Y'all, let me tell you, listen, listen to Cheryl, okay? You definitely understand this title more. The what I always do very beginning. You capture our attention, but with this particular couple, oh my goodness, I love the realness that you was able to see. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness. And the vulnerability,
Yeah.
the friendships, I mean, all those things. What was that like for you when you was putting your fingers to the typewriter and you was fleshing this out? Because oh my goodness, this book is so rich. I you may have heard me say it several times. This is definitely one of those books of all the feels. I mean, there are moments where it pulls at your heartstrings. It's all the feels. There are moments where you laugh. There are moments where you can just feel the characters' pain and heartbeat, and just
Mhm. Mhm.
there's characters that you love to hate.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
characters that you
there's a couple
side
people.
eye and
I
feel like
know.
go
You
somewhere and sit
always gotta
down.
have
You
that.
know what I'm
You always gotta have somebody who just work your last nerves.
talking. Oh my goodness. But on the emotional side, what was that like? If you can give us a little bit of the backstory as a writer, because again, this book right here, I mean, it's a little different, but you pulling at some heartstrings.
Well, I think with being a married couple, it's a lot of times it's easy to write the fix, to wrap it up easy. And that's not what I wanted for this couple, because
Mm-mm.
they have some deep hurts. So if
Mm.
anybody who's married, or you know that if something gets broken, It's not an easy fix. It's not a one conversation, okay, I'm gonna do better, and boom, we back. All right, okay, and then we move on. After a while, that doesn't work anymore. And there has to
Right.
be real work. And so I wanted to show that work being done
Now,
between
Now,
them.
Cheryl, okay, I'm asking for a little behind the scene. I'm asking for a little tea. So, book one is done, book two is done. But
Mhm.
while working on book one and book two, did you know that Terry was going to be last? And did you know
Yes.
that it was going to be because there are like little Easter eggs in book one and two, guys. Now, of course, let me put this disclaimer.
Yes.
Trust
Yeah.
me, if you read
Yeah.
them in order, great. If you just happen to come upon A Promise of Forever and read it and then have to go back, it's okay. Cheryl writes in a way that you won't feel lost, but there are
Right.
Easter eggs in book
Hmm.
one and two that lead up to this book as well. But I want for you to share a little bit about that in dropping those Easter eggs. And then, of course, like, man, finally, this is their story. You guys
Yeah.
kind of see
Yeah.
some of the reasons why maybe he wasn't at the supper club events when they did the couples and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I already knew that their book would be the last one, and
Okay.
so when so you saw, like you said, the little Easter eggs in books one and two about things are not exact all good all the time.
Mhm.
That there are some little struggles, there's some little moments going on, but by the time I got to this book, I had my little thought about what had happened, and it was like,
Okay.
okay, we're good. And I just thought it was the one thing
Oh,
between them.
yeah.
And then John decided to
And then
give me
John
all
decides.
the details about himself. And I'm like, sir, this is not where we were going in this story, bruh. And he said, yeah, but I got this. And so it was just a matter of me just letting him talk to me and
Oh,
tell me
wow. Look, Cheryl,
everything.
thank you for listening to John. Thank you for listening to John. Oh my goodness. I mean, this book, y'all, let me tell y'all, you're gonna fall in love with John. I mean, for me, John was pulling at my heartstring, and
Yeah.
I was like, listen, I was like, man. And Cheryl, I guess we'll go into this a little bit. Well, you know what? Before we go into that, y'all, as y'all can see, I'm so full. I'm so full about this book. Okay, I'm so full. I'm so full. So let's do this. I'm gonna get you to describe John's character a little bit, and then we're gonna describe Terry's character a little bit, and then I'm gonna go another route of something that I want to talk about John. So if you had to describe John for the people, how would you describe his character?
You mean as in his looks or his
Oh, both.
personality?
Give us all. Paint the picture,
Well,
Cheryl. Paint the picture for the people.
well, if you read the first part of the book, he has like a walnut color skin, his dark brown eyes, lashes that women would kill for, neatly barbered goatee, the sexy, sexy stuff,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But if you notice that he's a little more reserved, he's a shark
Mhm.
when it comes to his law.
Oh,
But when it
yeah.
comes to the other things, he's a little bit more reserved.
Yeah.
And there are
Yeah.
reasons for that
There is. There
are
is.
delved into in the
Mhm, mhm,
story.
mhm, mhm.
So all of those things where the friendship parts where he was a little bit hesitant initially, there's a reason for all of those things, you
Yeah.
know. But
And
you
when you
gotta
find out
love
those
some
reasons,
Gabriel.
guys,
But you gotta love some Gabriel and Antonio. Those are those. I have such a joy with those male friendships because we don't always get to see black male friendships in books. And
mhm,
I
mhm.
was I loved those guys showing
Me
up
too.
as friends. I love to see them on the page actually having their time along with the supper club ladies having theirs. So we got
Yes.
supper club
Yes.
2.0 over here with the
It was
brothers.
Supper Club 2.0, and I was so here for all of it. I was so
Yeah.
here for all of it. Oh my goodness. Man, thank you for listening to John. Thank you for the Supper Club 2.0. Guys, if you're wondering what we're talking about, we're hanging out with Sheryl Lister. This is her new one, guys, A Promise of Forever. Y'all, it's a winner. It is a winner. It is a 10. Go out and get you a copy if you haven't already. This amazing book that's an ebook is available in print. Cheryl, is it available in audio as well?
No, not gonna do
Okay.
they're not
Well,
gonna do audio. So no audio.
ebook. and print. You
You do
cannot
get
go
print.
wrong. Get you a
Yeah.
copy. Tell a friend and tell a friend. And y'all, I'm gonna put this out there right now. Book clubs.
Yeah, this is
This
a
one right
perfect book
here.
club.
Book
This is a book.
club,
That's a
so much
good
to
book
talk about.
club
Have
too.
some good supper club food ready. Talk about this book as well. We'll be sharing in just a bit how you can get your hands on a copy of it. Now, for those who may not have read the book as well, or any of the books in the series, how would you describe Terry's character?
Terry is more she's compassionate. She has like, okay, for her look, she's got the honey brown skin that he loves so much. She has like the brown eyes. She has like, her hair is more of the, straight. She wears the straight style, down to her shoulders, and he loves moving it back so he can put a little kiss on her backside of her. Yeah, he like that part. But yeah, she's compassionate, she's giving, and you can tell by her character, she's a nurse, emergency room. So she has that compassion, and she goes the extra mile, and she's been trying to go the extra mile even in her marriage. So she does do that. And that's not to say that John is not compassionate, but it's buried so deep that
Yes.
it takes a minute for him to find it.
Yes.
So
And Natasha, let me tell you, the guy friendship in here in this book, you will fall in love with them. Them
yeah,
brothers, okay. They
yeah,
be cooking. Let me just tell you that they be cooking, okay.
yeah.
And one
Well,
of them
You
get a
already know
cooking
Gabriel
lesson.
Antonio in the kitchen, and
Look, and one
they
of
get
them get a
excited.
cooking lesson, John. And y'all, the way that Cheryl does that, y'all gonna fall in love with. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. I will just leave
Yes.
it at
John,
that
John,
as
look,
well.
John is finally going to be in the kitchen, y'all. He's finally, because he said he can't even boil water. He will you have known from book 1 and 2, John does not boil water. He ain't thinking about water. He's not even trying to get it done
Right,
because he
right.
knows
But he
cooking is not on
look,
the list of things
Cheryl,
he can do.
we get a lesson. He get a lesson
But
today.
he gets
Okay.
a little lesson in this book, and y'all should read it so you can see how it turned out.
Absolutely. And JB says she loved the analogy of the 2.0. Me too, guys.
Oh
It
yeah.
is Supper Club 2.0. I love that. I love that as well. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are hanging out with a Sheryl Lister on today. Not only are we hanging out with her on the cafe, we are celebrating her new release. It is called A Promise of Forever. Hold tight, guys. We will be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy of it. Now, Cheryl, I want to ask you this when it pertains to John's character, because again, John has a backstory, y'all. There is a reason or reasons with an S, that he is the way that he is, and that some of it stems from his father, or what have you too. But Cheryl, once John started speaking to you or what have you, and you was like, okay, I see you, John, I see you. Can you
Mhm.
spill a little bit of tea about that and how when you started fleshing it out? What was that like for you? And did it start coming and just everything started just making sense?
Yes, it did actually. It really did. And like I said, I get, there's times when I get emotional myself when I'm writing the book. And the thing
Oh,
that always makes me more emotional are when my heroes become emotional. So when my
oh,
heroes are becoming vulnerable, that's what always gets me, is my
mm,
heroes becoming vulnerable. So I'm gonna
mm-hmm.
just I'm just gonna issue like a tissue warning that you may need a tissue or
Mhm.
two throughout this
Just
book.
want
Just
to.
one or two you might need for
Yeah.
it. So it was a pleasure. But the other person who gives me the emotion and the feels is Mama Nora.
Oh, yes,
So if you
ma'am. Yes,
read
ma'am.
A Perfect
Talk about
Pairing,
her a little bit.
if you read A Perfect Pairing, she is Antonio, the hero of A Perfect Pairing. She is his grandmother. And so Mama Nora had some good wisdom for Antonio. And I figured in this book, she was going to have like just one little bitty scene to share just a little line or two with John. And the next
Hmm.
thing I knew, she just said, "No, baby, move over. I got John. Let me take care of John for you, sweetheart. I got John." And she proceeded to take good care of John.
Look, and
She
not
didn't let me
only
she didn't let me do
Cheryl.
nothing else. She just said, "I got this. Girl,
Look,
move.
not only
Let me
did
do
she take care of him, but it
John."
was always on time. And he was like, well, maybe she need to be my therapist because he was like,
Listen.
look, Cheryl, he was like, how does she know these things? And it's like
Yes.
whenever she would insert herself, it will be right on time. It will
But
be
you know what?
right
And
on
if
time.
you notice, she was the same way with Antonio. She was the
Yeah,
same way in the
yeah.
second book. Is that now? See, now had it been Miss Della, which is Gabriel's grandmother, she just might have just said, "Come here, let me show you what you need to do." See, Mama Nora has that gentle hand. Miss Della is like, "Let me just bring you on over here and get yourself straightened out." She will straighten you out just real quick with a quickness,
Yes.
while as Mama Nora has a gentleness of it, and her love is just mm,
Yeah.
she is on point. And I think what happens is she reminded me of like my grandmas,
Oh,
my aunts,
wow.
some of those elder women who have poured into my life with a gentleness, with a gentle love.
Yeah.
It can be, it's firm too, but it's that gentle love, that no judgment, that no, just love. You, if you
Yeah.
need something, I got you,
Yes.
kind of thing.
Oh,
So
yes,
she
ma'am.
was that person in this in the books that she
Yeah.
reminded me of. Yeah.
And Cheryl, it's also like Mama Nora for John. She was that warm hug because he
Hmm.
with showing affection and emotion. It was like she
Yes,
was that warm hug for him
she is.
whenever he needed that soft place to land. But like you said,
Mhm.
the information that she gave him, and even though some of it was like a little tough love, it was done with love, and he
Right,
definitely knew where she was.
right.
Because at first he was like who is this woman like trying to get in my business, but again,
Yeah.
he was open to it and he
Yes,
received it.
yes.
And it was just like, oh wow.
Because he
Mm.
was ready.
He
He didn't
was
want to lose it.
ready.
He did not want to lose his marriage anyway. Listen, when your marriage is where his theirs was, he was 2 seconds off of losing his wife. He was like,
Listen,
if he wasn't ready, he got ready real
look,
quick.
Cheryl. Okay, John. When John got ready, oh, John was playing to win. John
Yes,
was
yes,
y'all. Let me just tell you, John shows up. John is playing to win. Not only that, he had the brothers. He had his friendship with the boys, the guys.
yeah, yeah.
They everybody was Team Rose, okay. And over here at the cafe, we Team Rose, okay. Everybody was Team Rose, okay. All hands on deck. Now, Cheryl, that brings us something else we got to talk about. Listen, those dates. Remember the first one that was like a non-date, but those dates.
Yes, yes.
Ooh, tell us about
Yeah.
that and how that was right in those days. I love those dates.
You know what? Because that both of them have high powered jobs, and if you read
Yeah,
the other ones, you know that they moved, relocated from Los Angeles. If you figure that if he worked in a law firm in L.A., if she worked in an emergency room in L.A., what was their life like? They had a
yes,
whirlwind romance, so which was defined through all three books, that they met and married within about a 3 month span. So they
yes,
had like a whirlwind marriage, and not that they would did anything wrong, not that they would have done anything different, except for they had busy careers, and then you get married and you jump back into those busy careers
yeah,
without taking that time to do the things that. And they still managed to keep it together. They were still in love. It didn't mean that they weren't in love or anything, but those time it just they didn't have the time to do the actual courting of
yeah.
sorts that you would
Mhm.
consider it. And so
And
he
guys,
decided it was time to court his
when
wife.
those dates came in, oh, the courting was courting with a capital C, okay? The courting was courting. And Shara, I gotta mention this. Child, listen, the slow burn was slow burning, okay? Because when the slow burn got the slow burning, when it was the fast burning, listen, okay,
Listen,
I'm
it
gonna
went
leave
from
that right
slow
there.
burn
Fill
to
in the blanks, guys.
boom ignition.
You said what, Cheryl?
It said it went from slow burn to ignited, right? Quick, real quick, huh? Look, yeah, it's
Yes,
like whoop,
yes.
somebody
Oh
hit
my
that little
goodness.
switch. But
Guys,
yeah,
if
so it
you're
was
just
cool.
joining us, we are hanging out with Sheryl Lister on today, guys. As you can see, we are having a good time talking about her new release, A Promise of Forever. And Sheryl is just going to read just a short snippet. Sheryl, you ready? I'm going to let you set it up, what you're going to read for us, and then we'll go into a few more questions.
You know what? We're just gonna start at the beginning. How about that?
Okay, okay.
Let's go. And this is the first scene, and this is actually in Terry's point of view.
Okay.
It says, "I'm losing him." The three words sliced through Terry Rhodes's heart, and she couldn't let that happen. Seated across from the dinner table, Seated across the dinner table from her husband Jonathan, who had his head buried in his iPad and was typing away, she noted that they'd become virtual strangers, neither of them speaking, and barely eating. Terry took a moment to study him. With his walnut colored skin, dark brown eyes framed by lashes a woman would kill for, and neatly barbered goatee, she thought he was even more handsome than the day they met. And even the dress shirt he wore couldn't hide the hard, muscular planes of his chest and arms, the chest and arms that used to hold her close when he whispered, I love you. It had been weeks, or had it been months, since she'd felt his nearness. And when was the last time he told her he loved her? Sighing softly, she took a sip of her lemonade and wished she had wine instead. So, how was your day? She asked, attempting to fill the awkward silence. Jonathan glanced up briefly and shrugged. Fine, busy, just like every other day. He forked up some mashed potatoes, shoved them into his mouth, and resumed typing. Terry toyed with the roasted chicken on her plate, her appetite steadily waning. I was hoping we could talk, she said, trying once again to engage him in conversation. His head came up again and he frowned. Did something happen at the hospital? No. I just wanted us to do like we used to. When he didn't reply, she ate a bite of her now lukewarm mashed potatoes. There was a time when we talked about anything and everything. Now I can barely get 2 words from you most days. Is there something going on I should know about? No, John answered without looking up. She sighed. Do you even want to still be in this marriage? Terry held her breath, not sure she really wanted the answer. She seemed to be the only one trying to keep the relationship together these days. This time, when he looked up, concern lined his features. Of course. I don't want anybody else with you, Terry. And if you're talking about divorce, that's definitely not something I want. She slumped against the chair in relief. It wasn't something she wanted to entertain either. I'm glad we can agree on that, but things can't continue like they've been these past several months, John. Maybe we should try counseling or something. John set the iPad on the table, picked up his glass, and drained half the contents. We don't need counseling. Every married couple has their ups and downs. It'll work itself out. Terry stared at him incredulously. You're a lawyer, John, and you know better. Don't insult my intelligence. She stood, picked up her plate and glass, and carried them to the sink. Terry, when you're ready to have a conversation based in truth, let me know.
Child, listen. That's where it starts. I'm just gonna say that's where it starts, guys. You are in for a treat. She just gave
she
you
said,
a
she
snippet,
said,
okay?
listen.
But let me just tell you, when she walk out,
Yes, 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 yes.
oh my goodness.
Natasha, yes, go ahead, girl. Go on, get it. Ola, you right. I
Yeah,
wanted to
oh,
handle her
y'all,
myself too.
listen, y'all are in for a treat. Book club, I'm gonna tell you again. There is so much to talk about. You're gonna want to talk with somebody, guys. Buddy, read this book because you're gonna want. Don't be like me, okay? Don't read it. And I'm like, I need somebody to talk to, okay? Because there is some, Mama Tony,
Girl, you should have
Tiffany.
called me. You should have called me, girl.
Oh, and Cheryl, there's one scene in here which I have done a post if y'all follow me on social media. And I
Awesome.
put it to it was like the perfect song, okay? Because I was like, when he realized that Terry was like, when she was gone, he was like, oh shoot.
Like, wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute, huh?
Wait
It's
a
like,
minute,
let me get my butt in gear. I am not about to lose my wife here.
okay? Listen. Oh my goodness, guys, you are in for a treat. I am
Ain't
super
nothing
duper
like a little, I can't say what, that'll make a brother get himself together and start moving
listen.
in the right direction.
Oh my goodness. And one of the things that I enjoy too about this book, Cheryl, is that you do talk about therapy or
Mhm.
what have you. And there's also therapy where individualized they have as individuals a little some therapy, and then also towards the end where it's like, hey, we may need couples therapy as well. But what was that like for you as the author to make sure that you shared that light of it on especially on the male side of it, because a lot of times men
Yes.
feel differently
Totally.
about therapy or what have you. But what was that like for
Mhm.
you as a writer, and why was that important to show that on the page?
Well, because for that reason, because of you, I mean, even if we all know, we got our grandparents and great grand, what stays in our family, especially in black families, what happens in the family stays in the
Mhm.
family. Nobody should be, you shouldn't be telling anybody your business. You should be, and you know that there's a stigma around therapy anyway, because if you say that you need to go and talk to someone, people think you crazy, something's wrong with you. So you already have the self consciousness with it. But we need to get away from that. And it's okay to not be okay and need to talk things through. Doesn't mean that you're crazy. It just means that you can't do life by yourself, which
Hmm.
we cannot do life by ourselves, which
Yeah.
was what I love so much about the Supper Club as well, is that we're not meant to do life by ourselves.
Yeah.
We need support, and sometimes that support comes from professionals,
Yeah.
and it's okay to do that.
Mhm.
Especially with men, because how men, they call them, losers, punks, all that, weak
Uh-huh.
sissies, if they decide that they need to, some help, and they need to talk to people, and things like that. And so I really wanted to show that it was okay. If
Mhm.
you read the
Mhm.
book, you'll know all the stuff that it went through to get to
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah, and I love how Cheryl in the book too, that even I think it was either Antonio's character, one or the other one was like, hey, bro,
Yeah. Yep.
I do
Yep.
some therapy.
Yep. Yep.
Therapy will
Yep.
be good for you. So
Yep.
that was good for him to see another man's perspective to say,
Right.
hey,
Right.
I did therapy and I'm fine. I'm doing better, because of it. For you,
Right.
but for you, Cheryl, we got to talk about the friendship, the Supper Club 2.0 with the guys
Yeah.
again. What was that like for you to tap back into that and to actually because before in book 2 you kind of started tapping into it more, but
Just a
in
little
this
bit.
book, oh
Mhm.
my goodness, their friendship like
It's just
blossomed. What was that
blossom.
for
It
you?
really did. I loved it. I so
I love
enjoyed
reading it.
I enjoy doing that. Like I said, because we don't always get to see black male friendship. You don't really see male friendship unless they're books by me, about men. We typically don't necessarily get to see that side of it. You may get a little inkling and see some brothers, see some friends, do a couple things together, but we don't really get the whole, uh, get to see the support like these brothers did. The making it where this is a safe place for him to be able to share. Because you figure he's hesitant already. Because he's never had like the deep friendships, kind of like what Terry has allowed opened herself
Yeah,
to. Because with the
yeah,
Supper Club sisters, she opened up herself to those Supper Club ladies,
yeah.
immediately. And I think it's easier for women to get those friendships, to let their guard down a little bit, and do that. But then it's harder for guys to have those friends unless you had them, growing up when you were a kid and they're still your best friend. Gaining friendships as an adult, like, wait,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, that's even hard for us, as
yeah.
women, to get friendships as women, to get new, deep friendships, and that are important. But these guys were just, yeah, it was great. And then I actually leaned into that a little bit because I watched my husband with his best friend, and I
Yeah.
watched him with his brothers, and his
Okay.
and the closeness that they have, so it was just like the letting down the guard, and the hey man, we got your back, kind
Yeah.
of thing. So it was just because I've seen it and watched it and love it, that it would made it a
It
little
was easy to put
easier
it on the
to do
page.
it. Yeah.
I love that. And
Mhm.
Cheryl, you hit on something too that for John that was so important, a safe space. That
A
was
safe
so
space.
for him,
Yes,
he
he
needed
needed
that
that.
safe space. He really
Mhm.
did. So
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, thank you for bringing that out in the
I'm gonna
story.
ask you, Natasha. Supper Club. No, that the Supper Club is what they call the ladies group, and that was from book 1, where Gabriel's sister gave the name, the Serenity Supper Club, because of the when they get together, it reminded her of those old supper clubs, where they have like the good music, the
Good
great
food.
food, the wine,
Fellowship.
so like a supper club, and so that's what I just call it, the Supper Club.
Yes, yes, and oh my goodness, Natasha, you will fall in love with the Supper Club, okay? And so we got Supper Club 2.0 because the guys started doing like their own little thing too, and then they will also come together when the guys would be able to come to the girls as couples or
Mhm.
whatever. So it was like Supper Club 2.0 as well. So great
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
I love that. Well, oh my goodness, Cheryl, the time goes by so fast, my friend. But before we end, of course, guys, there is a giveaway. Cheryl's going to share what her giveaway is going to be. But before she tells the giveaway, Cheryl, I want for you to share with us what did you enjoy about writing A Promise of Forever, book 3, the final book in the series? What does Cheryl enjoy about this book?
Everything. Okay, let me say it was everything except for how much. the depth of what John was going through. It was like stuff
Yes,
I was like,
Natasha,
oh my
look.
God, you're gonna make me go all the way there. But I loved being able to watch this married couple who had been struggling find their way back, and in a way that says that whatever comes their way again will not tear it will not tear them apart, that they came back stronger
Yeah,
and better.
right.
And so that's always a good thing, because I'm in love with romance. Can you tell I like romance? I'm just, listen. So I'm a romantic at heart, and so just watching them be able to put their marriage back together
Yeah.
was
Cheryl, their
amazing to me.
journey. Oh
The
my
journey,
goodness, their
the journey.
journey.
And I didn't want it to be like a quick fix,
Mm-hmm.
mumble some words, couple little platitudes, couple little date nights. Okay, we're back together and it's all good.
Yeah.
It's like, no, no, no. We're gonna have some work. I didn't
Yeah.
want it, didn't want to drag out the trauma that they had per se, but because I wanted it to be a love story. I didn't want it to be a breakup book with a quick fix at the end. I
Right.
wanted them to have they were already having the problems, but I wanted to them to find their romance again.
Ooh, and they did. Guys, let me tell you the journey, the courting with a capital C, okay? The courting with a capital C. Y'all, I'm telling you, when John was in, he was in, okay?
Yeah,
He
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 was.
he
He
was dotting
was.
his I's, crossing his T's, getting a little help when he needed to get a little help,
Yeah.
relying on other individuals, pulling in teamwork when he needed to do that. And
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
so here for it.
Yeah.
I was so here for it.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
yes, John. Yes, honey.
And
You stay
that
right here.
community, that small town community. Well, it was just funny because you're not a full fledged member of Firefly Lake unless you make it to the rumor mill, and so this time it was Terry and John's time to be front and center, because
Y'all,
Serenity
and
and Gabriel got it with Mr. Dale
the
across the
rumor
street.
mill be milling, okay? Because
People,
first when you know when you got some little old ladies ahead of the rumor mill, I mean, one
listen,
little thing could be y'all remember in book 2 how a little hug turned
a
into
little
a
kiss on the
whole
cheek
nother
turned into they was back together. There was a lip lock
shit.
with, it was a whole with a whole room full of people sitting there, but ain't nobody gonna correct it and say what really happened. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
you not a real, and so, but John decided, you know what? If we're gonna be front and center, he said we're gonna be front and center.
We're
So
gonna
he
be
gave
front
him
and
something to
center.
talk about for real, for real. So y'all gotta read and see what he did.
You gotta read and see, guys. Let me just tell you again, you are in for a treat. We'll be sharing with you in just a moment how you can get your hands on a copy of it. But of course, guys, Cheryl Lister has a giveaway. Cheryl, please share with them what the giveaway is going to be this evening.
I'm just gonna just be a little simple and do a $10 Amazon gift card, because I know books are life, and so I'm gonna be helping somebody. Look, books are self care, and I'm gonna be helping somebody with their self care today.
Look, okay, Cheryl, you don't hit the nail on the head. Books are self care. I love it. Reading is self care. All that good stuff. Cheryl is getting ready to give you Amazon a gift card where you can go out and you can get you a copy of A Promise of Forever as well. All right, guys, this is what we do. If you have been commenting in the comment section throughout the broadcast on today, you are in the running for a Amazon a gift card from author Cheryl Lister. Cheryl, I'm going to get you to help me, my friend. I am going up and down the comment section, and I am ready when you are to tell me when to stop.
Oh, stop.
Okay. Jennifer Copeland, whatever we were talking about, she said, Lord. Jennifer, you are the winner, my friend. If you will inbox me your information, you will get your Amazon gift card as well. Thank you so much and congratulations. Oh my
Congrats,
goodness, Cheryl. The
Jennifer.
time goes by is so fast, my friend. I am just
It
super duper excited
does.
about this one, guys. Please share with us how can they get their hands on a copy of the latest book in this series, A Promise of Forever.
You can find A Promise of Forever at any one of your favorite retailers, whether it's Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Kobo. We have you wherever you go. You can get iBooks, all of it. It's at all of them, so you can find it everywhere.
I love that. And we will also be dropping a link in the comment section as well. And guys, I want to tell you there are three books in this series. The first one is A Perfect Pairing, the
Nope.
second one is
Table for
A
two.
Table for Two,
The first
and
one is
then
table for two.
I'm sorry. A Table for Two is book one. Yeah, because you want to read them in order. If you read them in order, A Table for Two, then it's A Perfect Pairing, and then it is A Promise of Forever. Like we said before, if you just stumble upon this one or stumble upon them out of order, go ahead and read them. Go back and get the other two. But if you want to read them in order, it is A Table for Two, A Perfect Pairing, and A Promise of Forever. And y'all, let me just tell you, you will fall in love with this particular series. I know I did for book one, and it was just amazing how, each time a book came out, that we went more in depth with each of the characters and what have you. For those who have been following the series, let me just tell you, Sheryl Lister does her thing. Y'all, the characters are back. There are some new characters as well that make their entrance onto the pages as well,
Mhm.
but you will not be
Yeah.
disappointed with book three in this series. And of course, Sheryl, I want to leave you with the last words before we tell them how they can stay connected with you, my friend. What are some last words that you want to tell them about this book, A Promise of Forever?
If you are a reader and you are a fan of books that show Black love in all of its beauty, its
Mhm,
complexities, and if you
mhm.
are a fan of friendships, wait, and food and
And
music,
food and good music.
good for you. This is a
Small
book.
town with some smooth.
Now, just yeah. If you like books that showcase community, this is
Yeah.
for you. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it, guys. You are in for a treat. We just talked about our promise of forever. We'll be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy. We'll put some links in the comment section as well so you can get your copy. It's available in ebook, it's available in print. And Sheryl, please tell us, my friend, how can we stay connected with you?
You can pop over to my website at www.sheryllister.com. You can find me on Facebook at author Sheryl Lister, and you can find me on Instagram and Threads at Sheryl Lister.
There you have it, guys.
Oh,
Definitely stay.
wait, I forgot one more. If you want to just drop me a line, it's sheryllister@gmail.com.
There you have it, guys. And let me tell you, I definitely drop her a line. She will respond back to you as well. I hit her up in the DMs too. Tell her how much that you have enjoyed this series.
Yeah,
And of course, guys, once you read A Promise of Forever, you already know what to do. Definitely leave a review. I know that author Cheryl Lister
please,
would be
please
so
leave a
appreciative
review.
as well, guys. And let me tell you, I'm going to say it again. I know I said it earlier. Book clubs. Do you hear me talking to you? Get you a copy of A
Yeah.
Promise of Forever. And you never
And if
know, reach
you
out
do
to
read it,
Cheryl. She may come and do a virtual book club with you guys to talk
I was
about it.
just going to say
This
that.
book, there is lots to talk about as well. Cheryl,
If you
thank
do,
you
if
so
you
much.
do it, if you do have your book club read it, you let me know. And if I am around, I will be there because I love
I love
hanging out and
that.
chatting. So
I love that. Cheryl, it has been amazing, my friend, hanging out with you on today and talking
ditto,
about A
ditto, my
Promise of
sister.
Forever.
Thank you, sis. I love hanging out with you too. And thank you all in the comments. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Miss JB, thank you so much. She said I do some of my best writing, girl. You know I love you, Miss JB.
JB, I I
You know
I,
I
I
love Miss
told
JB.
Cheryl, I told her off record, not off record, but I told her behind the scene. I was like, Cheryl, I was like, I love this series, but I think this might be my favorite.
Yeah,
I was like, I
yeah.
think it just may be my favorite. Oh my goodness. Well, guys, have an amazing night. Definitely get you a copy of A Promise of Forever by Cheryl Lister. Of course, if you haven't read the other books in the comments, it's A Table for Two and A Perfect Pairing. Get a copy of those two as well. Cheryl, again, it's been amazing hanging out with you on today, guys. And as
Thanks
we
for
always
having
say,
me.
you are so welcome here at the cafe. Have an amazing day because we're having an amazing day. And until next time, guys, we'll see you later. Get a copy of A Promise of Forever. Bye bye.
Night.